This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News, and I'm joined by the new and now two-time world IBF super featherweight champion Joe Cordina over Zoom. Joe, how does it feel to have that belt back around your waist?
To be honest, mate, it feels great. A bit of an anticlimax, I'm not gonna lie. It's gone from such a high, and then over the last couple of days, it's being dragged everywhere, here, there, and doing certain things, and I haven't had sort of chance to process what have happened. Do you understand? Um, I haven't had this feeling before, but yeah, it wasn't like the first time I had it, but nevertheless, to achieve what I have, becoming a two-time world champion is it's a great achievement.
Joe, listen, becoming a two-time champion is something that many can only dream of. So it's interesting to hear you say you feel it's slightly anticlimactic. Why do you feel like that? Because do you think it's just because of how emphatic the first time around was?
Yeah, it could be that, I think it's just because you go from such a high on fight night, and then it's back to reality the next day. You're back. I'm back with the kids. I'm back doing the dishes, or I'm back doing the school run, or taking the bins out, and then you're being dragged here and there and everywhere. And then all anyone's talking to you about is, oh, boxing this, that, boxing that, not even asking you how you're doing. It's I don't know, it's quite a weird one.
Joe, unfortunately, you're here doing a boxing interview, so there'll be more
Yeah,
boxing
no
talk
problem. I don't mind that.
to get through. But yeah, here we are. Let's just reflect though on what was a brilliant fight between you and Shavkat Rakhimov. Walk me through your performance and what you had to go through at times to make sure you had your hand raised again.
It was, to be honest, very tough fight. A fight that once the 12th round went, I was like, yes, I properly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fight. I've never had to show that side of my game before. I know I can do it. I do it in the gym all the time, but it's one thing doing it in the gym, and then one thing doing it under the lights against someone that's world level, a world class operator, and as tough as they come. So, yeah, for me, it was about going out there, just make sure I get the win, do whatever needs to be done to get that W, and get my title back. But I thought I could have boxed a little bit better in a sense of I was staying there a little bit too much. But like I said, I got into it and I was enjoying it. And I was enjoying that back and forth. And I know sometimes it ain't the right thing to do because you can come unstuck. And as it's shown, I got caught with a good shot in the fifth. Uh, and I think a lot of people, if they took that shot in my way, they probably wouldn't have been able to hold him off. Um, I think I believe at that weight I'm made of different stuff to anyone else, and I can fight going forward, I can fight going backwards, I can fight close up, and I'm as strong as they come. And I can dig a little bit. So yeah, I think overall good performance, but it's definitely things I could have improved on. I'm not a finished article, and I'm not perfect by any means necessary.
How much of a little tick of a box is that for you, though, Joe, to know that in that fifth round when he did catch you and hurt you, but you can like tick it off, you know that if you need to, you can stand there and let your hands go and you can grit your teeth, bite on the gum
Yeah,
shield and get through it.
I know I can do it. It's just a box for everyone else to tick. It's not for myself. I know I can do it. I know what I can do. The fighters have been hit off. Um, Shavkat, he don't even compare to some of the fighters I've been hit off. Like power wise, size wise, strength wise, it don't even compare. So, and for me to hold a shot off them guys and then hold a shot off him, yeah, I was not worthy at all. And after 5 seconds, yeah, it buzzed me a little, but after 5 seconds, my head was clear. I tried to grab hold of him the first couple of seconds just to clear my head. By the time he shrugged me off, my head was clear. So, yeah, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried.
Joe, we saw before obviously go to the scorecards. Split decision was certainly not something which I think
Yeah.
many people in the arena were expecting to hear or back home. What went through your mind when you heard that 116, 111 card go against you?
I wasn't too worried. I wasn't too worried because I believed I won the fight. Um, you've seen my reaction in the last round, in the last 15 seconds when and especially after the last 10 when the clacker went, and I was calling. I done it. I wouldn't be doing that if I thought I would. I thought it was a one round apiece or I was losing the fight. I wouldn't be doing that. I don't know where he got that scorecard from or that score. That means with my knockdown and me winning that round, I only won one round throughout that 12 rounds, apart from them two. One round. That guy needs to be investigated. That judge needs to be investigated, and he needs to have a drug test because whatever he was smoking, it wasn't from this planet. It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
Joe, just kind of sticking with the fight itself, or the aftermath rather. I know certain Egis Klimas wasn't best pleased by a couple of things. He felt that obviously Shavkat and won, and then the second thing being the testing for the fight. And now, can you just divulge a little more about the testing after the fight?
Well, first and foremost, yeah, he might have thought he won, but at the same time, during the fight, he sat next to my cousin and listening to everything he's saying. So, even the back and forth of Eddie, like they're talking and whatever. But my cousin heard him say that he thought I won the fight. So, yeah, he's going on Twitter saying what he needs to say, and then he's having a little dig at Eddie and Matchroom and whatever else about he was thought he was they were hard done by and fucked over with his words. Um, and then going on about testing. I don't know where all this comes from. If someone comes to me at testing, I ask where they're from, and then I get on with it. I make sure I take all my notes and take photos of what I need to take, and then we go away. But if they're coming to my channel, I had two tests by the way on that. I've never known anyone to have two tests by two separate um organizations um on the same night, and I've never known it to happen. So I've done two. I didn't ask questions. I just got it done, and simple as that. I took my photos, what I needed to take, took my notes, what I needed to take, and got on with it. Um, and he's moaning about the drug testing, regardless of who it was. Just get on with it, and then see from after that, after you've got it done. But I've been told that Rakhimov didn't even do a test. He went straight to the hospital, so he bypassed that. And bear in mind, I've fought someone who's been done or been done for drugs before. So if anyone should have been having a kick up, it's me. And he's got the cheek to have a monk. Got a cheek. But listen, it is what it is. He's just they're sore losers. They're used to coming over here, dominating everyone, and you just can't handle that. They've got beat. Simple as that.
Joe, just to go back to kind of the testing procedures, as you mentioned, I don't recall anyone being tested by two separate organizations off the top of my head, pretty like after a fight. So, do you know who those organizations were? Can you tell us that?
Yeah, there was an independent one that was sent by Matchroom, that I was told, and then which I was tested all the way through camp with them, and then also UKAD. So yeah, I've done them two tests there and then. Didn't ask questions, I just got it done. Like I said, I took the photos, took my notes, what I needed to take, and got on with it.
So obviously linking it with one of Egas's tweets, he said he's never known a promotional outfit to arrange for private testing to prove themselves. So is this something new which Matchroom are going down in terms of a route they want to have some form of in-house testing that they can control?
I couldn't answer that. This is the first time I've come across it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the first time I come across it, and like I said, I'm not gonna start kicking up a fuss and asking questions. There's already like how can I say a grey area over testing, especially in our gym. Everyone wants to have a moan up and whatever, but none of us have got nothing to hide. We'll do the tests. I've done the tests. So yeah, it is what it is. I got on with it. I'm like I said, I never knew about this before, but it's come on since the start of my camp. Just got on with it, and simple as that. Just move on. If they want to bring their own independent testing and introduce that, then so be it.
Do you know of anyone else who's being tested by this independent setup?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't say.
That's fair enough, Joe. But kind of moving forwards, then we're looking at the future. I know the Foster fight was one which was mentioned, and Eddie's mentioned as well. Is he, in terms of unifications, at the top of your list?
Yes, definitely. Obviously, he got a WBC belt. Green's my favorite color. So yeah, definitely. He's a good fighter. I'm not gonna sit here and try and say he's not. He's a very good fighter. And I'd I'd welcome him with open arms. Um, so yeah, I'm happy whether it's Oshak Foster, whether it's Manuel Navarrete, or whether it's Hector Garcia. Either one of them, well, any one of them, I'm happy to share the ring with. And I'm sure we can make some good money. I'm sure we can make some good money. Can get a memorable night and have a good fight and add another belt to a collection.
Out of those champions, who would you rate as the toughest test for you?
They're all world champions in their own, like they're all good in their own right. You understand? And styles make fights, so it's all right them looking at me and saying, "Oh yeah, I can do this with him," until I get in there. And the same with vice versa. Same with me. I can watch videos and whatever, but until you get in there, it's a completely different story. Like no one, people say, "Oh yeah, Joe Cordina, he's just a back foot boxer. He ain't got no power. He's not strong. He's not this." But I showed against a killer that in my weight, who's grinded everyone down, and I stood there with him, took the best shots he had, and pushed him back. And that's not even my game. That's not my bread and butter. So yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, it's styles make fights, and um, yeah, down the line, if any of them fights happen, I'm sure they'll think that they can execute certain things they see in my game that weaknesses they can capitalize on them, and same way. But it's one thing watching on a video and then one thing being in the ring in front of someone.
Joe, since the fight, I've seen Zelfa Barrett's team come out saying that they've been told that they would get a crack at you next. Is that, have you had any conversations like that? Do you have any knowledge around a potential Barrett fight?
Nah, nah, that ain't happening until he fights someone that's worth even mentioning. That guy come off a week notice. I tell you what could happen though. Um, Tevin Farmer messaged me today, obviously wanting a fight. No problem. I said to him, I want a unification. If not, then we can do it. Why don't Zelfa and and Tevin Farmer have a final eliminator for my title, and then what? Then the winner of that can have a shot at me. But in the meantime, I want to unify. Like I said, they saying yeah, we've been told. The only person can tell you that it's fighting is me. Me. I'm the only one who can tell you. Yeah, Eddie puts the fights on and that, but if I don't want it happening, it's not happening. Simple as that. So yeah, I don't know where they're coming from until he fights someone that's worth mentioning, then it's that ain't happening.
Joe, just moving it forwards and away from yourself. Obviously, next week you see your campmate John Ryder out in Mexico challenge Canelo Alvarez. Will you be traveling out?
I'm planning on to. I'm planning on to. The only thing is I've I'm trying to get a break in myself with me and my wife. And it's trying to find someone to have my kids. The only time I can find someone to have my kids is on the week of John Ryder's fight. So I'm having to try and sort something out where it's either I go there, leave my wife at home with the kids, or I go away with my wife and have a break because I'm not going to be able to have that break if I go to John Ryder's fight. So, but I have been. That was my whole how can I say plan was to have a little break, go to John Ryder's fight, come back, start my camp. Um, but yeah, I'm still in talks with the wife. I'm trying to negotiate something. But yeah, we'll soon see. I'll know by the weekend.
Joe, obviously it's a big ask, it's a tall ask for John out in Mexico. Um, you've been in camp with him, you've seen him at his sharpest. I know you've lived together for his camp as well.
Yeah.
What does he have to do to overcome Canelo? How confident are you that he can come back with a shock win?
Listen, there's no, how can I say, there's no writing John Ryder off. Obviously, going into this fight, you would have to put Canelo as a favourite, but what have John have done throughout his career and his last, well, not his last fight, but the one before that against Daniel Jacobs, got the win against Daniel Jacobs, who had a very good fight with Canelo. And then the fight with Callum Smith, he stepped up and really and truly he won that fight. But listen, it's a tough ask. I just believe that John needs to have a fast start, put it on Canelo from the start, and not give him the room, the confidence. Obviously, it's in Mexico, Guadalajara, and he's going to have a lot of support there, and it's going to lift Canelo. But that's why I think John needs to have a fast start and shut the crowd up very early on. He's got all the attributes to cause Canelo a lot of problems, and I don't think Canelo will be able to bully him like he bullies a lot of fighters. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. Put it that way.
And then just a final one, Joe. I'm sure you're probably fed up of talking, or sorry, not a final one, but one of the final topics. But I'm sure you're fed up talking about Conor now. But obviously, we saw UKAD charge him last week. Or just your take on seeing that?
To be honest, I don't really look into it no more. Obviously, Connor's dealing with that. Connor's team is dealing with that. Um, his lawyers are dealing with it. I don't really um get involved in all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't know where to start if you asked me to comment what you are, but yeah, I wouldn't know where to start with that. So yeah, I'll leave that alone.
Do you know if he's still planning for a June return?
I couldn't tell you. I swear to God, I thought a fight with Chris Eubank was on the horizon, but clearly not. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Joe, obviously, just to go back to Saturday during the night, we saw that mega fight between Tank and Garcia. Did you stay up for it?
I did. I went to my after party as I came out. Went back to the hotel and turned my iPad on, and it was on. So yeah, perfect timing. And I say it was a good fight. I think Tank was just perfect in every way, shape, and form. So um, he done everything correctly. He patient. He moved. He was sharp, and yeah, he drew Ryan Garcia in and collared him lovely. And I think Ryan Garcia, I don't want to. No, for me, he swallowed it. He swallowed it. You got to get up at the magnitude of that fight, um, and the talk that they were talking. You can take a body shot like that, have that split second, yet it's a delayed reaction. You go down. I said to Tony Bellew the other day, and as you have to nail me to the floor, especially if my parents are watching. You're gonna have to knock me spark out because I ain't gonna stay down and swallow it. As soon as that 8 count went, that 10 count went, he got straight up, started went to his corner. So he was able to get up. For me, he swallowed it.
Joe, just before I let you go, the watch, is Eddie sorting it?
Well, I hope so. I haven't heard nothing of him yet. Um, I'm just I'll give him to the end of the week. I'll give him till Monday. And then if Monday, I'll put it on him again. I'll just give him a little reminder. But yeah, hopefully he does. Hopefully he sticks with his word. He did say it on an IFL. Cougar brought it back up to him and showed him the video. So he did say it. Yeah, obviously I'll wait till Monday and then I'll be back with him.
Did he buy you a watch for the first time?
No, you should really and truly. I should up it and say I want to protect him. But yeah, nah. Listen, I'm happy with what he gets. It gets me. It is what it is. You get me? I'm not gonna sit here complain and say um there's someone on the guard next to me parked up on the phone. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say yeah, I want this, I want that. I'm grateful for what I get. Do you get me? He bought other fighters Rolexes in the past, Sky Dwellers, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I'll be happy. Obviously, just stick to his word. I hope he does.
Well, Joe, I disagree. We know Eddie isn't short of a few quid, so if I was you, I'd be pushing for the biggest or best watch you can get, or two watches.
But that, well, do you know what? I said to him, I'd like the solid yellow gold Daytona with a green face. That's my favorite watch. It's been discontinued at the minute, so and I've been on a list for about 4 years for it. So I haven't been able to go. And the last one in Watches Switzerland circulating the last one was last week, um, and it got sold. And they put me forward for it, but I wasn't the lucky one to get it.
Well, Joe, I'm
So
sure if anyone can get it done, it's Eddie. But I'll leave you now to enjoy your night and obviously catch up with whoever
cheers,
it
man.
is knocking on your window. But yeah, thank you for speaking to me.
Cheers, Andy. Cheers, mate.